So this video right here is going to be 3 decision-making frameworks that have helped me make approximately $3 million in online coaching. So if you're anywhere from, start from ground zero as an online coach or anywhere under $30,000 per month, this can be highly applicable to you to make sure that you can actually scale your business in the most efficient manner possible. All right, so big thing first, like that, the most important, like why decision-making frameworks are important is because business comes down to decisions. All right, this is why like the highest paid person in every single company you can think of, what do they get paid to do? To make decisions. All right, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like they're just sitting around at a desk, like thinking and making decisions and like writing their journal. But that's like the most important thing because decisions is everything. It's, what do you work on in a day? What's the biggest, most important problems you need to solve? What's the solution to those problems that you need to implement? All right, all these different decisions that you can take you down 1,000 different paths. All right, so like that is the difference between someone who's at 100K a month and someone who's at 0 and who's stuck there. All right, so 3 decision-making frameworks. If you implement this, it's going to directly impact your business right away. So let's dive in. First one right here is economic arbitrage. All right, so economic arbitrage. So what is this? I mean, at a bare bones level, like the first thing that you want is this basically like making sure that, hey, like there's arbitrage in how much your expenses are for your business and how much you're actually making profit-wise. All right, so most like important 2 numbers you want to know for this is LTV, which is customer lifetime value. So that's basically how much is a customer worth to you over their lifetime? How much are they paying over their lifetime? All right, so let's say they pay you $1,000 a month and they stay for 6 months. That means that customer is worth $6,000 to you. That would be their LTV in this scenario. All right, there's also CAC. This is customer acquisition cost, or how much it costs you to acquire that customer. All right, so this can vary. If you're doing organic strategies, this could be like literally like $0 or $50, or it could be extremely low. If you're running ads, it could be $1,000, $2,000. All right, so just knowing this ratio right here, all right, LTV to CAC. Typically, you want this to be at least 3 to 1. All right, but ideally as high as possible. Like we've had this like to the point where it's 10 to 1, 21, 30 to 1, some like crazy numbers, and that's where you get like just insane economic arbitrage. Because like if you think of like what business is, like business is just an arbitrage. Like I remember, years and years ago, I used to do like flip items on eBay. All right, this was like, a side hustle of mine when I was getting into entrepreneurship and stuff, is I would basically, buy things in store for cheap. So this could be, I don't know, there's a lot of like weird things with this. Like I was in a community for this where it would basically like call out things like, oh, you can buy this in Walmart and you can sell it on eBay for, 30% more, 50% more. And this is something I would do. And it just like made the arbitrage. It made the 50% gap that people would pay for it just in a different marketplace. All right, so that's like an example of arbitrage right there. But that's all business is, hey, it costs us this much to deliver this service or this outcome, and you're paying us this much, and we keep that profit, that arbitrage gap. So that's all business is. So you need to found all your decisions in this. You need to be thinking in this all the time. All right, this is where it comes to profit margins as well. All right, so profit margins that you should be aiming for, like as an online coaching business, if you're under 30K a month, like anything like 0 to 30K, really like you want this to be 80% plus. All right. I've had this, 90 to 95%. All right, at times. Obviously, like as you scale, as you get over 30, 40, 50K a month, this number can creep down. All right, at like massive scale. If you're doing like $1 million a month, typically like we want to stay like around that 50% is what I've seen as far as like my peers and everything. All right, but for everyone under 30K a month, you got to be at 80% plus. Like there's no reason profit margins should be lower than this. So that's like one of the biggest benefits of like a coaching or online education or information business is the profit margins. Like it is a cash flow machine. All right, so you need to have this. You need to have that economic arbitrage. Last thing to consider here is, how do you get your cost out as much as possible? All right, these things right here: outsourcing, automating, systemizing things. All right, there's so many things that you can do right here. Like there's so many things you can automate nowadays, like especially with Zapier, with N8N. I'm just learning that one myself. You can systemize things. All right, so this would be, for example, in your coaching service. All right, so are there things that you do like over and over again? For example, like coaching calls. Like a very common scenario is people will do these like hour-long coaching sessions with their clients like every single week. When like one of the easiest fixes you can do to make your business more scalable and also more valuable to the clients as well is instead of like teaching every like client something one-on-one, doing the same thing over and over and over again, like for the rest of your time, is creating like a video module that goes over that exact thing, and you just sharing that with your clients. And so you could save those hour-long coaching sessions you do every week by just creating like a one-time thing that you create once, and that can do the rest of that coaching session for you forever. And so it saves you just an absurd amount of time. That's an example of systemizing something. There's things you can automate as well. All right, there's things you can outsource. All right, for example, like with our DM systems, how we book, like 5 to 10 calls every single day is we've outsourced our DM system to a virtual assistant on our team who's awesome. And he's booking calls every single day for us. All right. Also, the big wave nowadays, like this is really, really coming to effect more and more. It's something I'm building out more of, is using AI. All right. So this is like, there's things like AI agents where you can literally have AI agents do things for you, like respond to clients for simple stuff, for frequently asked questions. There's endless things we can do with AI. So I highly encourage you to really like ask yourself these questions when you're looking at something. Can I outsource this? Can I automate it? Can I systemize it to bring down costs? All right. When you bring down costs, you're improving your economic arbitrage. All right. This is key. Like this is like profit is king in business. Like profit is the number one thing that matters. Revenue does not matter. Likes, views, like nothing else matters. It's all vanity metrics besides profit. All right. Because that's what we're in this at the end of the day. Like we want to make money. Like we want to actually take home money and, provide for your family, have freedom, do all the things you want to enjoy in life. So that's number one, economic arbitrage. So second, decision making framework. All right. This one's huge. This is like arguably like the most important thing. Theory of constraints. All right. So the theory of constraints, like this is how you grow your business in a very systematic manner. All right. So I do this on like a weekly basis. Is always sit down and I'll follow this process. So let me unblur this as well. So basically, like this is how I grow a business. Like I find, hey, what's the constraint? So the constraint is like, why is your business not growing right now? Like, why can't you 2x your business right now? For most people watching, if you're under that 30K a month mark, it's probably lead gen. It's probably inconsistent lead gen is like the number one constraint that I see. So that would be an example here. So let's say you're not booking enough sales calls. All right. So that would be the constraint, for example. And so your process to growing your business is number one, identifying, okay, the constraint is booking more sales calls. Then number two, fix the constraint. So that means like you should literally place 99% of your focus, energy, and time into fixing that constraint, ignoring everything else for the time being. Or obviously not like ignoring your clients completely, like you still got to deliver, still got to get them great results. But like that's the process to grow a business. Like once you find the constraint, be laser focused on fixing it. Do not veer off. All right, a very common thing that I've seen as well, and a mistake I've made as well is like, one of my specialty is lead gen. Like that is like what I kill it in. And so, for example, in the past, like we've had sales process problems where our close rate is not where it needs to be, or our show rate is not where it needs to be. And instead of like fixing the issue directly, I just like throw my lead gen hammer on them. It's like, more leads, because it's what I love doing. I'm very good at. And so it's a very common thing to like, hey, whatever your skill is, you just do more of that thing. All right, so your thing could be coaching, for example. Like you're amazing at the service, which hopefully you are, and you just coach more and you completely ignore your marketing and sales problems. All right, that's not going to grow your business. You need to fix the constraint. All right, so this is how you grow a business. Find constraint, fix constraint, and then repeat, like into infinity. Like you do this over and over and over again. Like that is a process forever to grow your business. If you actually like follow this, you're laser focused on this week in, week out, like 1 year from now, you're gonna have a completely different business. It's crazy. But that's number two, theory constraint. Like this is how you operate. Like this answers the big question, the big decision of what to work on. All right. So constraint focus, like this is crucial. Like what to work on is all determined by the constraint. All right. Your week needs to be constraint focused. Like you should not be like dilly-dallying and doing like 10 side activities. Like focus on the one thing that matters most to grow your business. That is why the theory of constraints is so important as far as decision-making framework. Last thing right here is life design. All right, life design. So there's a few different things here. I'm actually just going to unblur all of this right now. So biggest thing like you want to really think about for yourself is like, what is your end goal? Like, what is your goal with this business? Like, because I've speak to a lot of different coaches, a lot of different people, and they have different goals. Or some people want to make as much money as humanly possible. All right, they want to hit 100K, 200K, 500K, $1 million months. All right, some people just want 10K a month and they want a lot of freedom, time freedom, location freedom. Some people, the most important thing is just enjoying what they do because they come from like the corporate world and like they hate their life and their job and they just want to do something that they enjoy. So like first thing is like determine your priorities. All right, these are like, the main core things that tend to be like the things that come to mind in terms of like what people value most. Is it income? Is it freedom? Is it impact? Is it enjoyment of work? Now, obviously for you, it's going to be a combination of things that really determine what's the most important. So for example, for me, like my non-negotiable is freedom. Like I want to have some level of time freedom, location freedom, be able to spend time with my family, my wife, our future daughter here on the way soon. So like that's non-negotiable for me. And then under that, I have income, impact, and then enjoyment of work is honestly like it's at the bottom right now. All right, just right now in this current season of life. All right, this can change. So for me right now, like I am absolutely okay doing things I don't necessarily enjoy in order to achieve these other things. All right, because I like that's just the priorities. It's just like, hey, like for me right now, I'd rather just like get to my freedom number, the number where I never have to like worry about money ever again. My children never have to worry about money ever again. If I get there, which I think I can get there, relatively soon, within a few years here, then I can have a different season of life and I can change these priorities. So that's just me. That's my thinking process. So that's like something that you want to determine for yourself. What is the most important to you? Do you just want to make as much money as possible? Do you want to have a certain level of freedom right now? Do you want to make as much impact as possible? Or do you want to really enjoy the work that you do? So really like this determines how you design your business. Because like the questions that you ask determine the answers that you get. Or the questions that you ask determine the answers that you get. What do I mean by that? So like if the question you're asking is how do I make 10K a month? How do I make 30K a month? There's a lot of different answers to that. Or if the question you're asking is how to make 30K a month while only working 4 hours a day, there's a different answer. All right. If the question is how to make 30K a month while maximizing the amount of work I do on things I enjoy, again, different answer. All right. All these questions, get different answers. So really determine this first, determine the priorities, because you can design any business that you want. Like you can just design it. Like as long as you do this stuff, as long as you have economic arbitrage, this exists. Like any sort of business model can work because enjoyment of work, you can outsource things that you don't enjoy. All right. Impact. All right. This is obviously like more brand focused, or, this could also be with your clients as well. So if you want to spend as much time with the clients as possible, depends on what that means to you. Freedom. All right. This again could be outsourcing things, could be more of a group coaching model. So you're spending less one time and just you have more time available overall. Income. Obviously we know what income is. How much money are you taking home? All right. So it just like you can design whatever business you want, but you want to determine what do you want in the first place? What are the values that you value the most? And you can just design your business based off that. So these are the 3 decision-making frameworks that have allowed me to obviously get to where I am today, and really enjoy the process as well, because I'm just living and I'm building my business according to my values of what's most important to me. And when you do that, it's hard to be upset. Like you're living according to your values. So hope this video was helpful for you. If you are an online coach, you want to work with me one-on-one to actually scale your coaching business, go ahead and click the link below. Do have a pretty amazing offer for you. So click that link if you're interested, and we will talk soon. Peace.